number 269.
Yeah, 269. That's you, Nate Bud.
That is you.
Nate Bud.
Nate Bud winning the ladies' table.
What was that? What was that? I got that on camera too. That's not my son.
What is up, Yins guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fishing PA with Ryan Reed, aka Yukon Cornelius. The beard's looking a little bit thinner than it was the last time I came to you at the New York Muskie Expo. We've had an awesome show in between New York with the Muskie Max that was held down in Washington, PA, which I will be doing a video for. But tonight I wanted to focus on a recent event that was held by our local Muskies Inc. chapter. Guys, the recent event that I want to highlight in this video, I want to talk about our local Muskies Inc. chapter's yearly banquet. And again, our local chapter here in Western Pennsylvania is Three Rivers Chapter 16. I want to talk about the importance of Muskies Inc., highlight Muskies Inc., and then really kind of get into the weeds and highlight that recent event. And guys, I had so much fun at this banquet. I thought I would just show you what it was like to be there, share some pictures, share some footage. There were a lot of cool things that came from the banquet. So that's my goal for this video. All right, before we get into the banquet, what is Muskies Inc? Muskies Inc is one of the largest fishing and conservation organizations in the country. Muskies Inc is dedicated to conservation of the muskellunge. Muskies Inc is one of the absolute best resources in conservation aids that this fish has across the entire muskie range in this country. But really the purpose of Muskies Inc is to support selected conservation practices based on scientific merit carried out by authorized federal and state agencies. Also, to promote muskellunge research, establish hatcheries and rearing ponds, and introduce species into suitable waters. And guys, if you fish for muskies here in the state of Pennsylvania, you know absolutely how important our stocking effort is here. Our fish are stocked. Very minimal natural reproduction happens in the state of Pennsylvania. So Muskies Inc. working very closely with PA Fish and Boat. And again, Muskies Inc. also supports the abatement of water pollution. Muskies Inc. also maintains records of habitats, growth, range of species, and builds a library of scientific and popular muskellunge literature. We talk about Muskies Inc., we talk about the lunge log, access to all of these catches, again, across the entire muskie range. Super important for you as a muskie fisherman. Now, Muskies Inc. also is responsible for disseminating muskellunge information, promoting a high-quality muskellunge sport fishery. So again, guys, all of these things our local chapters of Muskies Inc. are doing to help keep the fisheries healthy, to continue to grow the sport of muskie fishing, and to help these fish and to be a voice for these fish. Muskies Inc. has a huge impact on our local fisheries here in the state of Pennsylvania. If you guys want to learn more about this, okay, I am one of the founders and hosts of the Musky Hunks podcast. We just had on two key members from our Chapter 16 of Muskies Inc. Okay, Charlie Mueller and Evan Schoss. You guys might know Charlie if you fish the local area. Evan is a premier bait maker, and he makes killer baits that catch tons of fish every year. These guys talk, we all talked about the importance of Muskies Inc. One of the key moments there, Charlie talks about how Muskies Inc. affects you as a muskie fisherman right here at home. The importance of what this club has accomplished to better the muskie fishery in our local area. Okay, if you're fishing for muskies, number one, make sure you check out that voluntary muskie permit. And number two, give Muskies Inc. a fair shake. Your membership donation may end up, going elsewhere outside the state, but keeping in mind, if you listen to that podcast, there's a lot of grants coming back into the Muskies Inc. local chapters that help benefit the fishery. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and it's a great thing to be a part of. Chapter 16, Three Rivers, Muskies Inc. We help, again, PA Fishing Boat. Every year, the chapter donates monies to the Minnow Fund to feed the muskies that are essentially spawned, reared, and stocked. Also, Muskies Inc., the local chapter, does a youth outing. Okay, promotes the sport of muskie fishing and fishing in general for the kids. Okay, that's huge. It's important. Getting these kids away from electronics, getting them out on the water. Super awesome benefit to the club. Chapter 16 does a vets outing. They get the veterans out there. Super cool, giving back to the local community. In addition to that, there's club tournaments. With your subscription, you get a magazine. There's also a fundraiser for a calendar, which is hanging on my wall. You guys get access to the lunge log, a giant database of fish catches, essentially. You can go out and look at any local lake in the state of Pennsylvania and see how many muskies were registered and logged. You can see what they were caught on. You can see the dates, the water temperature, the wind, any information that's put in about those fish. It's a huge asset to you as a muskie fisherman. You know, you talk about the conservation, helping the fisheries, the research and the fishery side of it, and also getting the youth involved in the sport of fishing. Great reasons to be a local member at your local chapter. So all of this said, you know, Chapter 16, Three Rivers, led by Joel Morrow, that's our president, at least for 2024. There's a lot of good people in our chapter. There's a lot of good resources for you as fishermen that belong to Chapter 16. Okay, so you guys can come to a meeting. It's open to the public. You can check it out, and you guys can learn more about the sport of muskie fishing and potentially get involved, meet some new people, and get out there on the water. So it's super cool benefit. Talked a little bit about what Muskies Inc. is, what they're doing, what our local chapter here in Pittsburgh is, Chapter 16. So I just want to make sure I spend some time on that, guys. It's important. It's important to me. Muskies Inc. has opened a lot of doors for me. I've met a lot of cool people, and I fished with a lot of cool people directly through Chapter 16. I just wanted to do kind of a special person spotlight on this video. This special person spotlight goes out to our president of Chapter 16, Mr. Joel Morrow. Guys, Joel's been involved with the club since 2016. Joel's done a lot of outstanding things for not only our local chapter of Muskies Inc., but for the fisheries here in the state of Pennsylvania. If it wasn't for guys like Joel, our fisheries wouldn't be where they're at. So Joel is actually in the process of retiring from being our president of Chapter 16. 2024 is his last year. So I wanted to just thank Joel for his hard work, his efforts managing the club. Joel, you've done a great job. All of us respect you. We're so sad to see you go, and we know we're going to get to see you out there with your no balances. So Joel, again, thank you very much for all your hard work and effort. You've done an amazing job with the club, and we're super pumped to keep this thing going. All right, I didn't want this video to be super long. I got to give a shout out, okay? Give a shout out to my guy, Dave Budd, okay? Big Dave, Nate Budd's dad. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm wearing the hat backwards tonight. I tried to wear it frontwards, trying to get your attention at the banquet. I got to be honest, I went right back to wearing the hat backwards. But I wanted to thank Big Dave for a second because Big Dave has hooked me up consistently with my favorite beer in the whole world. And that beer, right there, Blue Mountain Dark Hollow. It is a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, and it is freaking delicious, and I love it, and I'm very thankful. So, Big Dave, thank you again for hooking me up with my favorite beer in the whole world. Whoa.
First, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's a great turnout. And I've been with the club for probably 16 years, and I've been to the banquet since about 2010. This is the most people we've had, so I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. Before we go any further, I want to thank Charlie. Please stand up. Charlie! To be honest with you, 90% of what you see here tonight was on him. He spent the time getting the lures, getting rods, contacting lure makers. Without him, this wouldn't be possible. Rich, luck, Rick. Between both of these guys, they did most of the work. I did a little bit here and there, you know, just, that's it. So a big thanks to them for reaching out to everybody. And this is definitely the best display we have of lures, tackle, just basically everything. So I appreciate those guys. On the food end, George McGrady. Big thanks to him for taking care of that. I don't know if anybody has went up here and looked at the cake yet, but it's very nice. Real nice picture on there. I'm not going to say who's on there, and it's probably me. Probably me. And before we cut into that, if anybody wants pictures taken of me with the cake, we're going to be doing it. All right, that's on the house.
All right, let's talk about this banquet, okay? So the banquet, I've never been to a banquet before. This was my first year attending a banquet. I've gone to meetings, I've fished tournaments, I've done the lure swap, you know, I've done some interviews at some of the Musky shows. I know a lot of guys that belong to the chapter. With that said, this was the one thing that I haven't been able to do with Muskies Inc. So I was really looking forward to it. I was sick. I ended up with COVID from the New York Musky Expo, and I missed our annual lure swap. So I was feeling pretty bummed. That's a fun event. Again, open to the public. Come out, swap gear, tell stories, hang out, drink some beers. Really cool, fun night. The banquet is very similar to that, only the banquet really consists of like just a fun, awesome time to come out and have dinner, to sit and talk to guys that are in the chapter. You hear stories, you hang out, just a very fun vibe. Super awesome to be a part of the banquet this year. And I gotta say, like, the Cranberry Elks, just a cool little place for you to go and hang out for a night. They have an open bar, so you guys can buy some drinks. George McGrady, shout out the one and only, the great George McGrady from our chapter. He every time we have a big event like this, George always donates the food.
Cows Killer Lemonade. It's pretty gay, but
So that was super awesome. Food was delicious. We had fried and grilled chicken, rigatoni. There was some veggies, awesome dinner rolls. Just a cool night to sit down and eat dinner with everybody and hang out. Muskies Inc. always hands out the awards at the banquet from the previous year. And this year was special for me. And shout out to my man, Cody Fye, one of my closer friends. Cody and I just we get to fish maybe once a year. And it just turns out every time we're on the water, something magical happens. I helped Cody catch his personal best fish. I was able to net that fish for him. And then last year, Cody fished the Pima Tuning Tournament with me, which again is a Chapter 16 tournament. And somehow, some way, we ended up placing first in that tournament. So I was really looking forward to seeing the awards ceremony. That's part of this night. And it was just super cool because Cody and I walked away with our first Muskies Inc. plaque. Hopefully you guys can see that. Again, very thankful for this. Just a fun, cool way to kind of get that plaque, be recognized for winning a tournament. Super thankful to George McGrady and Brian Phillips for letting us win that one. Super thankful to all the guys I've fished with. You know, I've learned a lot through guys in the chapter. And if it wasn't for Three Rivers, Chapter 16, I might not have picked up, a lot of the info I have, and I might not have grown as a fisherman as fast as I have. So I owe this tournament to all of those guys that I've fished with, guys that have taken me fishing, guys that have just spent time talking to me on the phone, text messaging through chat groups. So again, the club has given me a lot. Like Chapter 16 has given me a lot, including, this tournament. So this is one of those personal achievements, super thankful for, and thought I'd just share the clip with you guys as Cody and I kind of basked in the glory of receiving our plaque at the Three Rivers Banquet this year.
All right, so first place, Pontoon Reservoir 2023 with a 32 1/4, a 30 1/4, and a 43 3/4, 106.75 points. Ryan Reed and Cody 5. Get the hell over here. I want an autograph.
All right, guys, so the banquet, we had an awesome dinner. My wife, Deanna, was there hanging out with us. It was just a super fun thing. We had the award ceremony. We're hanging out. We're talking. But one of the big draws to a Chapter 16 banquet is the raffle table, okay? There's also some other stuff that goes on, like a 50-50 if you guys are into raffles. But the raffle table, man, this was the raffle table of all raffle tables.
It turned out to be pretty, just about the same. I was afraid it was going to be shittier. Same here. Smelling some fabrics.
I'm just gonna start rolling numbers and just keep going and going and going. Elbows can be thrown. What's up? The original one, like elbow in my face and just doing like baits. He got his baits circling. Face my arm.
He said he would hit one.
And the best part is he's just high over here. And then all of a sudden, where you going?
Now, I know some guys in the Midwest think that Pennsylvania isn't really known for muskie fishing. We don't have real muskie shows here. We don't have real muskie culture here. But I'm here to tell you this is one of the best raffle tables I have ever seen at any event. And it just goes to show you that culture and a lot of the history and things that we have here, like with the Dale Wileys and the Todd Leah parties, and some of these local bait makers. In addition to that, you got guys like, Dave, DK, DK throwing some baits at Chapter 16 for the raffle table. You got guys like Zach Baker, Katia Rivers throwing bakers to be, essentially raffled off. There were literally hundreds of lures on this table. I think Charlie said in the podcast we were close to like $9,000 or $10,000 in lures on that table. So I wanted to spend some time talking about this. The cool thing that you can do is you guys can buy raffle tickets. They do kind of like a banquet special. It was like $100, you get 150 tickets. Well, you're allowed to purchase multiples. So, you know, a lot of guys, that's what they did. You know, they spent a lot of money to get these raffle tickets, and all of that money goes back into the club. It goes right back into the chapter. You know, that goes to the general fund so that we can do things like the youth outing and do raffles at the youth outing. So we can do things like take the vets out and give them food, provide food and on awesome things in a day on the water. It also goes back to the fishery, again, with supplemental funds for the minnow fund. You know, there's a lot that money does. So think of it like this, like you're contributing to the chapter. You're donating that money for the chapter to keep this thing going, to help with the fisheries. Again, conservation, fisheries and research, and youth. Like those three things at the importance of this. So donating that money for raffles, it's super special. It goes to a great cause. And, you know, the benefit of that is the raffle table. Getting to pick up some really awesome baits that are super hard to get. So kudos to Charlie Mueller. Kudos to Rich Ruffalo. Kudos to everybody that was involved with this banquet, man. Putting this together, getting all these awesome musky lures and gear just there and available for guys like me to go out and just do the raffles and have fun with it. So you guys seen the raffle table. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Dee and I picked up our package tickets. There's a number on the back. They write, you know, Charlie stamped every single ticket with a number. So every 150 tickets, Charlie stamped a number on there, and that was your number. So looking at this, you know, like you buy your tickets, you got guys like Donnie Swink, who's big spenders.
Pretty good.
Hey, Senior, what do you got over there?
What's in your bag?
What's in your bag?
This is bigger than the Musky
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Everything.
God bless America. Trump 2024.
What kind of baits we got over here? What do you got over there? There you go. What'd you guys end up with?
He's new. That's what I did in the last 3 years.
Bring it up.
Guys like Kellen Campbell, shout out Mac Discount, big spenders on raffles. And the thing of it is like you're hanging out with close friends, you're eating dinner, you're drinking a couple of beers, you're telling musky stories, you're living it. It's just a cool, fun night. And then on top of it, you hit that raffle table. So what they did was they put all the tickets in buckets. Charlie had this big wheel that he dumped everything in, spin that bad boy, keep it rolling, and then he just starts firing out numbers left and right. And that's how it went. You know, it was like you get your tickets called, you go up to the table, you grab whatever you want off that table. So real quick, I just thought I'd show you guys what I ended up with. Very quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I was super fortunate because they did the table raffle, then they did 3 other package raffles, okay? So the table was separate. Everything on the table was as your ticket was pulled, and then you guys could put tickets in different baskets for a Legend Lures package, which that Legend Lures package was amazing. Okay, Brian Boyer, shout out Brian. Okay, history. He's one of the best musky fishermen in our area. He puts out one of the best musky lures maybe of all time, used across the entire country into Canada. Brian was there. You could talk to Brian if you wanted to. It was cool seeing the Legend perch baits and the plows and then looking over and see Brian Boyer at the table. It was just an awesome thing. The Legend Lures package, our guy again, Evan Schoss, put together a Schoss bait package. He had like 2 minors, 2 meatballs on the table. You could put your tickets in there. And then there was also this like awesome rod and reel combo. It was like an 8.6 St. Croix Premier paired with like a Tranx 400. Just a cool thing, right? Casting rod, like you can put your tickets in there. They also had like a women's table, right? So for all the wives and girlfriends that were there, they had like Starbucks gift cards and beauty products and wine and all the good stuff that the ladies like. You know, a little bit of something for everybody. That is super cool. Entertaining everybody, giving everybody an opportunity to be a part of the raffles. So for me, Dee and I split our tickets up. I said, put your tickets where you want them. We ended up getting, a couple of those packages, and we just dropped our tickets in everywhere. And, that's how it went. Charlie spun the wheel, and this is what I ended up with. So I just want to give you a quick rundown. My first pick of the raffle draft was this 9-inch DK Subban in the orange and yellow gold scale. What a beautiful bait. I couldn't ask for anything more than that. It was amazing. With the second pick of my raffle draft, another DK 9-inch 50 finder. Super awesome color. What a beautiful lure that is. Okay, third pick of the draft. I ended up with a 7-inch Baker in copper top. Another beautiful bait. Thank you, Zach and Katia, for donating to the Chapter 16 raffle. Fourth pick of the draft, Evan Schoss. Minor. Look at the quality of these baits. Chartreuse belly, minor. You guys know I love my minors. Thank you, Evan. Fifth pick of the draft, Schoss Bait Company, meatball. You can see that still in the package. Super pumped. Next pick in the draft, my Big O's spinner bait, one of the tiny guys. Very cool color. I also ended up with the next pick. I got an Extreme. This is an LT. Hopefully you guys can see that. So thanks, Greg Tem, for again donating and giving us some baits. And then lastly, ended up with another Leo Lures hook sharpener. One of the best hook sharpeners there is. I absolutely love these things. I'm extremely happy with the way this raffle came out. I got way more than I put into it, and a lot of times that's what happens when you guys do these events. Just real quick, okay, another cool thing that happened. Dee put a bunch of tickets in the rod and reel combo bucket. Okay, never thought I would have a shot at something like this. Charlie brought the bucket over. She turned her head. She dug her hand right in there. She pulled a ticket out, and it just so happened that that was her ticket number. So Dee and I walked away with this beautiful St. Croix Premier 8.6 casting rod paired with a Shimano Tranx 400 HG. Guys, what an awesome thing. I was completely blown away by this. I was just talking about getting a new casting rod. I was super excited about this. Whenever she pulled the ticket, she felt terrible. She didn't want to take it, but Charlie and Joel were standing there. She didn't do any funny business. It just kind of happened that way. Something that I'll never forget. So that was a super fun, cool thing that happened. And, these are things that can happen if you take the time to go and put money in for that raffle, and you get a lot back from it. So just another super cool thing that happened at the banquet, and I couldn't be more pumped and I couldn't be more thankful to everyone that contributed to that table and to those raffles, and everyone that worked super hard on this banquet to give us a fun night and hang out with all of our friends from Chapter 16, Three Rivers, Muskies Inc. So guys, in closing, the banquet was awesome. It was a phenomenal event. I really urge you guys to take a look at your local chapter. Just so you know, Chapter 16, Three Rivers is actually the 4th largest chapter in the country. Okay, again, you would think that that would happen in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and it does. It really does. But for a chapter in Pittsburgh to have over 250 members, strong, and really just a culture that's this strong, where everybody's accepted, where you as a fisherman can come in and meet people and end up fishing with them and learning more about muskies and the sport of muskie fishing and being able to give back to the muskie fishery. There's a lot of YouTube guys out there in the local area that are just out there fishing. They don't care about these permits. They don't care about Muskies Inc. These are ways to where you guys can give back and just help us continue the growth of this muskie fishery. It's important, man. These fish are stocked. It's something that's really near and dear to my heart because I love these fish. I don't want to fish other places. I want to fish at home in PA. And if we can keep doing that, the club is going to keep benefiting the fishery. So I urge you guys, $45 for a membership for Muskies Inc. You get access to the lunge log. If you guys join Chapter 16, you're probably going to get an email from me that tells you how to log fish. Huge benefit. You're going to get the subscription to the magazine. You're going to have a calendar delivered that's usually a fundraiser, so you can donate for the calendar. You're going to get access to meetings, access to tournaments. You guys, it's just one of those things. You get access to the banquet. just a wealth of knowledge in your local area that's going to help you be a better musky fisherman and really help and give back to the fishery in your local area. I can't overstate that. It's important. So I just wanted to touch on a couple of these points. Hopefully this was enough to give you guys an idea what the banquet looked like, what the feel was. It was a super fun event. I'm glad we did it this year. It was super awesome to give back to the club and get some of these awesome prizes. And it was a fun night to hang out with the boys, share that with my wife, Deanna, and I'll be doing that from now on. Really looking forward to some of the events this year, the kids outing, looking forward to hitting some meetings, doing some tournaments. I will be back up on Pima Tuning this year for that tournament, hopefully. Not sure that I'll ever win one again, but hey, I always have Pima Tuning 2023. Thanks, George and Brian, for giving us that one. But yeah, guys, like, I can't urge you guys enough. If you're fishing for muskies, check out your local chapter of Muskies Inc. You will not be disappointed. You'll get a lot more out of it than you put into it, and you're going to help the fishery. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to kind of highlight this. Hopefully you guys like this video. Go out and check the website out. Go out and just talk to guys. Come out to a meeting before you join. Check it out. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to be working on Musky Max, that video here soon. I've got some electrical issues with the boat right now that I'm trying to figure out. Hopefully we get that resolved next week. Looking forward to getting out on the water, and hopefully you guys are all having a good start to your season. So get out there, catch some fish. Looking forward to talking to you guys. And I guess the only thing left to say is tight lines. We'll see you next time.